Hello again, it's my pleasure to welcome you to the latest KBC vlog. And we're continuing, as we will be for some time, because it's quite a big book, using Reading Between the Lines by Glen Scrivener. And we've been in the Sermon on the Mount now for some weeks, and I'm continuing there today in Matthew 5 verses 17 to 20. If you want to look them up just now, press pause, come back, and I'll still be here waiting for you. We might say he dotted every I and crossed every T. A Hebrew speaker, however, would say that he swished every jot and swirled every tittle. Jot was the smallest Hebrew letter, the letter Yod, and tittle was the smallest stroke you could make with a pen, a tiny flourish, which was the only distinguishing mark between the two most similar Hebrew letters. And Jesus says in Matthew 5:17 to 18 that when it comes to the law, he is an absolute stickler for every word, every letter, every speck of Moses. Let me read to you. Do not think that I have come to abolish the law or the prophets. I have not come to abolish them, but to fulfill them. For truly I tell you, until heaven and earth disappear, not the smallest letter, not the least stroke of a pen, not one jot or tittle, it says in the King James Version, will by any means disappear from the law until everything is accomplished. Now notice that Jesus does not say that he is a law keeper. No, he's much more than that. He is the law accomplished. He is a law fulfiller. He doesn't merely abide by the law, he fills it full. What does that mean? Imagine that you go to a pub and standing at the bar you hand me a pint glass. That could mean one of two things, depending on whether or not the glass was full. If you hand me an empty glass, then I know that you're making a demand or a request. It must be my round. I have to pay to fill up your glass. But if you hand me a full glass, then that's a gift for me to enjoy. With a full glass, I take it within myself and I enjoy its goodness. And it's the same with the law. Jesus has not come to abolish the law. Through his birth and through his baptism, Jesus has stepped into our shoes in full solidarity with us as humanity. He has come as the true Israel to live the life of faith and obedience in our place and on our behalf. And so in all of this, Jesus is actually doing the very opposite of abolishing the law. He's actually submitting himself to the law in every way, and he hammers out in his flesh a perfect legal obedience. Here is the Lord of Moses coming under the law of Moses and doing it right, filling it full, every jot and tittle. And this is vital for us to understand. Jesus is about to preach his own interpretation of the law, and it is pure, unadulterated, legal perfection. He says, don't just refrain from homicide. Never hate anyone. Don't just refrain from adultery. Never lust after everyone. Be perfect, just as your heavenly Father is perfect. And yet, before he lays down such a law, he wants us to know two things. Firstly, he's not abolishing Moses, but he is affirming him. But more than this, secondly, he's not flouting Moses, but he is fulfilling him. Jesus is the one who accomplishes Moses' prescriptions. Who of us can say that we are free from every jot of unrighteous anger? Who can say that you're free of every tittle of lust? Who can say that you're perfect as our Heavenly Father is perfect? Only Jesus. But Jesus accomplishes this law for us. He fills it full before he hands it to us. And so yes, indeed, Jesus gives us the Sermon on the Mount as a law to live by. He gives us hate-free, lust-free perfection as our heavenly calling. But he doesn't give it to us as an empty law. He gives it to us brimful of his finished work. His peace, his purity, his perfection fills up and fills out every demand. This hate and lust-free perfection is a gift, something to be taken within us, something to be enjoyed. If it came from Moses' hand, it could only condemn us. But it comes from the hand of Jesus, who has filled the law full with his own spotless life and death. And so now we receive it from Jesus, every jot and tittle of it, as the gift of righteous living, to be received by faith. Here is the righteousness that fills our hungry, thirsty souls. I've just read what Glenn Scrivener wrote today. I couldn't improve on that. I couldn't add anything to it. My goodness, it's helpful. My goodness, it's encouraging. And it should take us into our day with a spring in our step and thankfulness in our heart. May God bless you today.